The first person in China. There is prize money in the no-gi competition. I can earn that money, be a lucky champion of the trials. Hello guys, I'm Boris. Hi everyone, I'm Katie, Leone Production. Today, in this episode, we're going to take a look at HuaiQing's jiu-jitsu career, whether he has encountered any setbacks or difficulties. Later, we'll talk about Jozef Chen, what it was like when he trained with HuaiQing in China, and we're also going to find out what HuaiQing's secret technique is, what his secret weapon is, and what helps him win in competitions.
Stay tuned!
Shushu, could you tell us how you got in touch with sports and how you came across grappling? At the very beginning, when I was around 9 years old, I was very naughty when I was at my hometown. And aren't you naughty now? Naughty. But I was even naughtier when I was a kid. There was no one at home to discipline me, and no one could discipline me. They sent me to a martial arts school. Can you share more about if you had any pressure when you were at that martial arts school? How did they arrange the training? And how did you end up going to Shanghai? Well, at the martial arts school, I remember that they would keep an eye on you every day. For example, they would tell you what time to get up, and you had to get up. They would tell you when to have meals, and you had to go and eat at that time. If you didn't, you wouldn't have any food. They would also tell you when to train, and you had to go for the training. You were always under their supervision. If you didn't listen to the coach, you might get beaten or something like that. Later, during one of my summer vacations, I originally just wanted to come to Shanghai for a visit. I wanted to experience the big city, and at that time, I came to Shanghai alone, by bus from my hometown. The coach at the martial arts school said that I should go back in half a month or a month after I came here. Since I had always been under strict supervision at the martial arts school, suddenly there was no one to manage me here. I felt like I could really let myself go. I was in a very comfortable place. And then I didn't want to go back. Later, when the coach asked me to go back, I didn't return. And since then, I've been staying in Shanghai. At first, I stayed in a club, and I practiced wrestling there. I stayed there for about a year or two, and then I went to a jiu-jitsu gym, and that's when I started to get in touch with jiu-jitsu. Before that, I'd never even heard of this sport. If you hadn't gone to that martial arts school, you probably wouldn't have been exposed to that kind of strict training. If I didn't go to the martial arts school, I might not have had any contact with sports at all. I might have just ended up studying like an ordinary person, and then go to work. Can you share a bit more about how you got in touch with Absolute, and how you found it? To be honest, when I was here, I felt really confused. I didn't know what I should do, whether I should practice MMA, or practice striking, or practice jiu-jitsu. I had no idea at all. Later, because there were some problems with my previous club, I left there, and then some people helped me. After I started to get to know Kamal, I began to train full-time. I clearly found my goal. It's because Kamal told me at that time that he thought I was good, so I practiced with him. I practiced hard, and I thought he might help me become a world champion, and so on. So I believed him. At that time, I fully devoted myself to jiu-jitsu, and until now, I've made it. Yeah, you have made it. I've known him for a long time, but I got to know him around 2020. I saw him when he was very young. When I went to watch my students compete, I would always see him. He was between 13 and 15 years old at the time. So I did know about him. One day, a friend brought him here. They came to our gym on Anyuan Road. He came to train with me once, and I said, I know this guy. I've seen him before. But I had never gotten a chance to train with him. Then I trained with him once, and I thought he was great. I asked him why he didn't come to train with me. I said, if you come to me with a good coach like me, you will definitely reach a very high level. And I said, train with me. I'll help you become a world champion. That's what I told him. Then he started training with us that day. After a week, I made him my assistant coach. I had a lot of students in my class. Sometimes one person wasn't enough, so I asked him to help me, and we taught the class together. Then he began teaching children's classes in our gym. He's got a very nice personality. Many people like him. Then some people started buying his private lessons. His situation started getting better and better, and then Leone started sponsoring him. Everything was going fine. In China, there may be many people who are in a situation similar to yours, but they may not have the opportunity, or they may be under a lot of pressure. Is there anything that you'd like to say to them? Your inner goal is very important. You need to figure out what you want to do, instead of wanting to do this today and do that tomorrow, which makes things messy. When you can come to Absolute, there are really big changes that can happen in your life, right? Yes. From not knowing what I wanted to do to having a clear goal, there have been some really big changes. And there have also been big changes in my heart. Because before, when I was at the gym, I was really introverted. But after coming to Absolute, I don't have that psychological barrier anymore. I don't really care as much. Things have gradually gotten better. Why did you decide to focus on no-gi training? Was it influenced by Kamal? Yes, Kamal definitely had an influence. And secondly, I really like no-gi training. I used to practice wrestling. In wrestling, we don't wear the gi either. We wear a rash guard, the most important reason. So why did you choose to practice no-gi? Well, I think it's mainly because of the competitions. In no-gi competitions, there's prize money. I can earn money. After you won the Trials Championship, did a lot of people add you on WeChat? After I won the Trials Championship, that night, a lot of people added me on WeChat. And many people congratulated me on winning the championship. The first person in China to do so. The most obvious difference is that some time ago, there was a competition in Shanghai. I went to watch the competition on the spot, and a lot of people came to take photos with me. That is something that I've never experienced before. There are advantages to becoming famous, but there are also disadvantages. Because there will always be haters, right? Some people think that I didn't win the championship by my strength. They think I won the championship because I was just lucky. I think a lot of people question me like this, but I don't care. If you have the strength, you can try to win the championship. If you have the luck, you can also try. Most of these comments are on the internet. No one has ever said something like this to me in person. If there are people like that, you can experience the strength of this lucky trials champion. I think I first met HuaiQing around 2021. I just hope that he can participate in more high-level competitions and not be so nervous. I think if he can handle this well, he can definitely be in good form during competitions. I think his strength lies in his eagerness to learn, right? He watches a lot of videos and a lot of instructional materials, and he's very good at thinking, right? When he encounters a problem, he will think about how he can solve it. Maybe his weakness is that his performance during competitions is not always at its best. But as you said, I think it's a matter of confidence, and I believe this can be resolved in the future. I think it's very possible for him to win a medal. I think the competitors in the 66-kilogram division are all at a high level. The gap between them isn't very big, but I think that Shushu's level is already very high, and I hope he can come to the B team. I think there he'll realize that he's actually very good, because he has competed against excellent opponents before. There's a difference between competing and training though, right? Especially when his form isn't good during competitions. Here, he can experience the high level of competition, like Ethan and Owen. There are great players here, so he can realize that the gap in their levels is actually very small. Once he understands this, I think he's got a good chance of winning a medal. At the very least, he will achieve excellent results in the competition. I'm Ju Hongyu. Just now at Method MMA in Pudong with Coach Shu, we had a 5-minute free sparring session. I think this sparring was really good because it helped me discover a lot of problems. Next, let's ask Coach Shu together to talk about these problems and what good solutions he might have. First of all, during the standing, we had some hand fighting, some grip fighting. Then you did something like an arm drag or something like that and blocked my other leg, and then I was taken down. Yes, you can demonstrate it again. I just got a grip like an arm drag, right? Now, I want to pull you, but at the same time, I don't just want to pull you like this, because if I do that, you can pull me too. So when I pull you, I use this foot to block you in the far side, to trip you and make you unsteady, and then, unexpectedly, you just fell down. And from here, usually what's common is to break your balance. Then, when I was in the bottom position, you were in the top position and kept transitioning like camping. At that time, I felt an unprecedented great pressure. Well, the way I usually like to pass the guard is I want to get into a camping position, right? I definitely do high leg guard retention and things like that. Yes, switch to the other side from there, and from here, my goal is not to pass your guard with just one try. I'm trying to exhaust you as much as possible, so you'll feel very tired, right? So I try to stay in this position as long as I can. Now, I want you to do a high leg. I'll switch to the other side. Now, keep staying in this position. You definitely have to keep doing it. And I'm not doing that because if you do guard retention, you can have a rest, right? So I may not be able to pass your guard just once, but I'll try to pass you multiple times. And then you'll definitely be very tired. When I stood up, I did a single leg, a Korean snatch. Now, for this single leg, how did you defend it? When I want to defend it, I mainly get a hand drag grip. For example, when you try to single leg me from here, I really want to do this move, but you didn't let me do it. From here, for example, if you grip well, I will take a step in this direction, and at the same time, turn in this direction. It's still kind of the feeling of an arm drag, followed by taking the back, but I can counter you from here for your back. However, you didn't let me. Yes, I tightened my elbow. Most of your attention was on defending this side. And at the same time, I circled my foot out. So you can see that he put the knee shield on my hip. In the end, I just pulled my knee out and escaped. So, as the attacking side, do you have any good suggestions? If I'm the one attacking, right? Well, I try to break your balance as much as possible. Keep putting pressure on your hips, or lift your leg up. For example, doing a single leg takedown like this. Right? I really wanted to do this, but you didn't give me the chance. Yes, of course, I didn't let you. Because if you get into this position, you can lift me high up and sweep me. So I try to keep it on this side, because if I keep it on this side, you see I have a knee shield. If I'm in this position, keep bringing the heel in to this position. Keep staying on this side, or from over here, right? And do a body lock, correct? So from here, I can also kazushi you like this. It's not necessary to make you fall. You might just lose your balance. But you're in a defensive state, not an offensive one. So the pressure you put on me is not enough. So I can try very hard to find a way to attack you and escape from here. So you think I should move you more and pull you more. Thank you very much, Coach Shu. And I hope you guys have the opportunity to come to our Method MMA for training. And at the same time, experience our top Asian techniques of Coach Shu. How did Leone help you in jiu-jitsu? It first helped me in 2022. At that time, I had just finished the Leone Harbin Invitational, and then I got sponsored. After that, because of COVID-19, I wasn't able to go out and compete. I hadn't competed for half a year or a year. I'm really grateful to Leone because they enabled me to go abroad and compete and covered my expenses. Without Leone, I think it would be very difficult for me to go abroad. Wish me luck. Let's go. My name is HuaiQing. I'm 21 years old this year. I'm going to the United States to participate in ADCC. Take a look at the invitation letter for the competition. American ADCC, I'm coming for ya.